Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Mwako about PENDREAM TV semester say any day dey our here na be subscribe to channel no click bell no so the news too also sabet me can internet. Sam Jata George and I know Metro TV so I didn't say be to draw ever experiences any near my SEC where public accounts committee. Then no chairman corruptions are public officials they create more agencies no too much now exposes will be any questions through questions or bisa some of the public officials nature say Reverend Mishada will be at say the time as also pension and so Uncle no go to Juma without contract and up to now 3 weeks after meeting public accounts office committee you know Akuffo Addo so emaneye Juma afide was man one for finance minister so munko di Juma meanwhile up to now omunya man contract be so di Juma and afi so NSA boss Professor Chumesi and also casa where we nyina Sam George H0T more quite of fast so my car it belongs to the state. Ayira wa brought the two quite a cook marshal man park or baby and case or more park na sada no baby a car no more claiming so movie I know saka no pay no movie I mean casa be brave or church in and pay or Metro TV and
I'm surprised maybe Twitter has just taken cognizance of the Public Accounts Committee. But Randy, in the last parliament, it was a public interest question I asked of GNPC that revealed that the First Lady, Rebecca Akuffo Addo, had been given 5 million from GNPC Foundation to run her Rebecca Foundation. It was that same public interest question that revealed that the Ochihini had been giving over 11 million to celebrate his 30th or so year or to celebrate an anniversary on the throne. So I have been doing this for a while. It was a public interest question of mine that exposed the fact that the Bank of Ghana, which at the time had issued, and that day was Mr. Edison himself sitting in a chair, that had issued a warning saying that it was illegal to transact business in dollars. The Bank of Ghana itself was busy transacting business in dollars with Ghanaian businesses. And so they were giving a regulation or a rule to Ghana, and they were doing something different. So I've been doing this from time to time. And other members have also done the same. In fact, in the last public accounts, last parliament. I also talk of bus branding. Well, that preceded me. Bus branding, for example, came out when Ajman Menu was chairman, and the NDC was in government.
The current health minister.
Yes. He was chairman of Public Accounts Committee.
I know he was chairman.
Yes.
But
it was under him bus branding came up.
Oh, okay.
He was chairman when the public interest question of bus branding came up. And it became a topical issue. So the Public Accounts Committee, then he became health minister, and then Sputnik V has happened, and all of those things. That the Sputnik V, the Frontiers Healthcare, the whole mess, Agenda 111, La General Hospital, all those, you know. So anyway, and he was dreaded at the time as chairman of Public Accounts Committee.
He's extremely knowledgeable in that area, yeah.
You know, so. And I mean, people like the current National Security Minister, Kalaba, have been chairman of Public Accounts.
Yeah.
You know, so the Public Accounts Committee has always been a place where you shed light.
I think the problem Ghanaians have is that it looks like beyond maybe a naming and shaming, people, the public, does not see people getting punished. They don't see it as punitive. Just before the naming and shame, people will come and sit there. You say all those things, they are embarrassed. There, the next day, somebody else comes to take the headline away. It ends. They go back. Every year when we watch, same infractions. Sometimes different people and different SAMs involved, but same infractions. And so people don't see they don't seem to see the benefit. You know, initially it was refreshing. It was quite, you know, we had come from a military rule, Parliament had started, there was now this committee, audit reports. That's especially when we started getting the audit reports, so it was a bit exciting. But after some time, then people realized that, look, it's become like an annual
ritual.
Yeah, name and shame ritual, and then it ends. And then you watch the next year, you will see the same infractions, same institutions, maybe different persons, because somebody has been transferred or is retired, and there's a new person holding the position.
Or sometimes what we actually witness is the same officer who has been transferred from one district to another district.
Involved in the same
thing he did in the previous district. He repeated it.
So there's a certain level of fatigue.
Yes. So Randy, you know, I take this from two aspects.
Okay.
First has to do with what happens when the public account sheds light. Doc reminded me of bus branding. When public accounts shed light on bus branding, what did the executive at the time then under John Mahama do? Immediately, he asked for an investigation. The facts were established. They asked the company involved to do some refunds. We were told that the company had already even done the refunds, about 1.3 million Ghana cedis. And then the minister who superintended it was relieved of her position. So you saw a government that acted on the expose from public accounts. Now, you have the several exposés. It's been weeks since I revealed with my colleagues that the Commissioner General, Reverend Dr. Amishadai, has been at post since October 2022 without a contract, beyond the age of 60, in clear violation of Article 1993 of the 1992 Constitution. The president has not acted. In fact, post that, the president has actually empowered Amishadai to go to India to go and negotiate a new deal with Tata on domestic tax reforms. And in that deal is Ken Ofori-Atta himself, the mastermind behind all of this. Him and a gentleman called Ernest Akori, who is cooking all of these deals. So even when you are exposing the people, you have the likes of Ken and his henchman Ernest Akori sitting there and cooking these deals, taking domestic tax revenue from a Ghanaian company to give to an Indian.
But Ernest Akori holds a position.
Yes.
He works there.
Yes.
So he's performing his official duty.
It's his official duty to keep cooking.
From
Ghana.gov. It's not cooking, it's creating. Okay.
Yes. He has an official position. He's given responsibilities by the minister.
Yes.
The minister superintends over things including the tax administration and all that. Yes. So
but I have not said anything different from that.
No, when you use the expression cooking, the impression that I get, I could be wrong, but the impression I get is that it is something negative, it's something untoward, it's something which is
not legal.
Yes, something which is not appropriate, all right.
Randy,
I'm saying the impression I get. I'm not saying that's what you're saying.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me just, you see, some of these things at times they are blessings in disguise. When you do your interjection, wait, Doc, I beg you. When you do your interjection, sometimes there are blessings in disguise. See, we had a platform that had been set up by NITA under John Mahama, where persons could pay their taxes to GRA. It was called eservices.gov.gh, and the payment gateway was epay.gov.gh. Now, Ken Ofori-Atta, the finance minister, and Ernest Akori then decide that this platform must change, and then decide that the GRA, instruct the GRA to issue a contract to someone who we all know, everybody in the industry knows the relationship between that person and Ken Ofori-Atta, Kojo Hesi of Express Pay. Now, they are so contracted to now do a platform called Ghana.gov. The same gateway.
They didn't go through due process.
It was Randy, I'm coming.
Yes.
I'm giving you Bojidi, Natri. They sole sourced this to that company. Then Esankuma, Bentil Angel, did a legal opinion and said, for a contract of this magnitude, you cannot choose to sole source. So immediately they then decide, bring in Haptel and bring in IT Consortium. And let's form a company called Digital Ghana, digital.gov. Randy, the same thing that NITA had set up under John Mahama where all revenue was going to the state, they set up this digital gov platform.
Have you worked at NITA?
Yes, I was on the board of NITA for 4 years. And it was under the instruction of our minister at the time, Honorable Omane Boama, that we set up that platform for government payments. And in fact, in 2016, we processed 128 billion Ghana cedis of tax payments. 128.6 billion. Not a peso went to any private individual. It went to the government. Now, they create this company. When they create this company, I have the receipts here, and I can show you digital gov receipts. In February, and it doesn't follow chronologically, but I've got them in different months. This receipt, for example, that I hold in my hands is for the month of February 2021. These three companies, this consortium and that's why I said Cook, because something that exists, because Randy, if you click on the digital.gov platform and you follow the gateway where it takes you to pay, it is still the e-pay that John Mahama's NDC and NITA created. The same thing. They've just put a new domain name on top of it, but the payment gateway is still the same. Now, we did that for free. For February 2021, an invoice on March 23rd, 2021 was paid to Digital Gov for how much? 13 million Ghana cedis. Now they've set up a contract and they are giving a percentage of the revenue collected to private individuals. Something that the state was doing under John Mahama for free. Nothing else has been added. Randy, I can give you another receipt. I've got more than 20 of the receipts. This is August 2020. And Randy, you should even check the date. In August 2020, how much they paid the company was 639,451. The two people who signed for it, Kojo Hesi and Romeo Bujei. August 2020. As we get closer to the election,
what's the point?
As we get closer to the election, Randy, the point I'm making is you have two different approaches from the executive to the findings of public accounts. One is a government led by John Mahama, where we took decisive action against individuals who were found culpable and retrieved money for the state. The other is what you are seeing today, where the persons who ought to take action, like in the case of Amish Adai that we questioned, because he is serving a certain purpose for persons who are, for want of a better phrase, abusing their office to the detriment of the Ghanaian taxpayer. He is still being maintained at post without a contract.
Now, couldn't that just be an oversight? I mean,
it was an oversight. It's been 3 weeks now since your attention has been drawn to it.
How would you know if the letter has?
Randy, I can tell you for a fact that as we speak this morning, unless they are drafting the letter this morning, Amish Adai does not have a contract yet. He does not have a contract, and he's not the only one. And Randy, look, the things going on, it's mind-boggling. Randy, for example, they bought generators at GRA. Amish Adai handles procurement himself. And these generators...
Are we sure about this?
Yes, he handles procurement.
But your colleague on the PAC is asking if you are sure.
No, I mean, this is outside.
This is outside of the report.
Okay.
But I'm saying to you, and because of this GRA expose, a lot of information has come.
Let's stick to the report.
No, but
You could be misled.
Oh, Randy, I have evidence. I have documents. I can show you. I have documents and videos
I'm saying
of generators that were bought
that's
by
not what I'm
GRA.
making.
And they were abandoned at the warehouse for 2 years. The prices were inflated.
I'm saying that in reference to he is in charge of procurement himself.
Yeah,
that's what I mean by. You could be misled. People take advantage of some of these situations and they
have oversight.
They fly all manner of.
But Randy, when you see the document with his signature on it,
it doesn't mean he's in charge.
He approved
the procurement.
Yes, but it doesn't mean he's in charge of procurement.
Randy, but I'll take your cue.
Right.
You get it because okay. Let me leave it there. Let me not go to some places.
For instance, but not in charge of procurement, but the
president will not sign. The president will not sign certain things, but it's fine. Okay. Let's leave it there. But for example, generators that were bought, the prices that were quoted in 2021 are higher than the official prices from the manufacturer who has a dealership in Ghana, Cummins. In 2023, the prices have not dropped. Cummins, and when you ask Cummins for their price in 2021, it was lower than their price in 2023. So even they have factored inflation and increased their price. Yet what GRA bought the generators for in 2021 is higher than what Cummins is selling today. And then it's been padded.
Could the GRA ones be customized for a certain purpose?
Please, Andy, they were not customized.
Okay.
They were not. The procurement document. No, the procurement document states the specification. So if a generator that costs 110,000 for a unit, they make it 170,000 per unit, and then go ahead to buy them in multiples. I don't even have a problem with your inflation of the prices. Warranties will increase the price by almost 50% or 40%. But when you do that, and then you pay with our taxes, and then you go and abandon the generators for 2 years.
Really?
Yes, at not industrial area. Really? Abandoned. I have pictures.
Which means that they didn't have need for them.
They had no need. Somebody just needed to buy. You go and buy cars. You go and buy vehicles. You take invoices from Toyota Ghana and the likes of Sterling, who are established for Land Cruisers. Then you go and buy from a company that doesn't even have a garage for servicing them. Right now, GRA, some of those GRA vehicles are serviced on a football pitch.
Okay.
You see, Randy, so when somebody is sitting there without a contract and signed the SML contract, the SML contract was signed. At the time, he didn't have a contract to be in office. And you think that Ghanaians will not feel that everything we are doing.
Your law that you studied and are studying will tell you that by conduct of the employer government, constructively he has a job.
Well, Randy, conduct cannot supersede the dictates of the 1992
No, you don't get what I'm
Constitution.
saying.
No,
I'm
I
not
do.
saying that
I do.
government has acted
Correctly.
That's not what I'm
In
saying.
fact, that was his response.
But I'm
That
saying that from the
he
point
has
of view of
implied that he has a job because government has kept him at post. Okay, yes, but the government in itself can be acting illegally. And that's what the government is doing in this instance. Acting very illegally. In contravention of the president is acting in contravention of the constitution he swore an oath to defend. Now the Sports Authority. Randy, the Sports Authority one, myself and Doc, 2 years ago, had issues with the Director General of the Sports Authority on a pickup.
Yeah.
The one that was stolen.
The one they claim was stolen.
Stolen.
Because Randy, you see, you can't tell me that thing was stolen. The Sports Authority parks its vehicles at a stadium, a sports hotel near the stadium in Kumasi. Anytime you drive from Accra to Kumasi, that is where they park official vehicles. This vehicle was bought out. There were two of them, two pickups bought and outdoored in, I think, April. And then within 4 months, the Director General assigned one to himself. Within 4 months, he goes to Kumasi with one and instructs the driver not to park the vehicle at the usual stadium hotel, but go and park it at OAS Hotel.
Because he's staying there. Maybe it's because he's staying there.
Randy,
Decoy.
Randy, he should go and park it at OAS Hotel. That very night, there was a robbery at OAS Hotel.
Coincidence.
They didn't steal any other thing but the pickup.
It was the most valuable thing there.
In the whole hotel. Okay. Now they go and lodge a complaint at the police station. And when they lodge the complaint at the police station, the police come for the CCTV footage. There's a CCTV footage from the week before and from the morning after. But that night, the CCTV system was turned off at the Watch Hotel. Is that also coincidence again?
It could be insider job. So whoever is in charge of the CCTV ought to be questioned.
Absolutely.
Because that's curious.
But Randy, how did they move the vehicle there? Now, this same Director General had said that he had personally taken steps to ensure that those vehicles were comprehensively insured. Hallelujah. We don't have a problem then. Insurance will do what? Replace the vehicle. Papa, Professor Chumesi, bring us the documents of insurance so that we can make a claim. It's been 2 years. He can't produce the
but I
document.
thought he explained it. I think one of your sessions I watched.
That-
And he explained the issue with the insurer. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Sure.
because I might
Sure.
not. But I thought I heard him speak about they having a running contract with the insurer or the broker. And so when they got the vehicles, they asked them to do the insurance, but they had not paid the premium. Now, when this car was stolen and they made the claim, the insurance company's position was that to the extent that you had not paid a premium at the time,
that is right.
you will not pay.
But
I thought I heard something.
yes,
And the
yes.
So I'm right.
No, yes,
Yeah.
but Randy, who do you hold responsible for that?
Huh?
Who do you hold responsible for making sure for the failure of that insurance policy?
Is the consumer.
The person who ought to have paid the premium.
Yes. Because
And
in
he's
fact,
in
the
charge of
National
NSA.
Insurance Commission, years back,
Yes,
issued a directive to all insurance companies.
yes, absolutely.
That, the practice was that, so for me, the practice was that if the insurance is on the vehicles, let's say they expire 1st January, they automatically renew.
Roll
The
it,
policy
and then
is
they'll
given
come
to
and give you-
You
you
pay
pay later.
later and all that. So, what GRA do? He does all my insurance. So he then said that, look, there's a new directive.
You don't pay.
If you don't pay,
It's void.
it can't be
And rightly so.
issued.
And so, who do you blame?
So
do you blame the insurer or the person who was supposed to have paid? And who was supposed to have paid?
Myself,
Was
they had that arrangement because they are releases. The releases to the ministry.
But we also.
So at the time that they had no, I'm just saying that's what I heard.
No.
He said,
Yes,
your committee.
yes. He said that, but the committee didn't buy that.
And
Oh,
in
okay,
fact, it still holds, and correct me if I'm wrong, there are still many government vehicles that are not insured as we sit here today.
Oh yes, that's
Because the insurance is expired, they don't have the
Some
money.
they don't even.
some they've not even done
started.
insurance for.
Yeah.
They don't
Many
insure
government
them.
vehicles they don't
They
insure.
just use
yes. Because when government are buying their
But
SIA,
is there
there's a directive for all government
There's a
vehicles
government
to be
policy,
insured.
right?
Yes,
And as for the
there
military,
is.
there's even worse.
and the security agencies, they have a
As for
way
the
of.
security agencies,
Yeah, they
yes,
have a way of.
This is a different discussion.
Yeah,
Let's not
man.
go there. But
Like when you enter, you
still on the NSA.
sacrifice your everything.
Still on the NSA. There's a pending case at Legon Police Station.
Huh?
There's a pending case at Legon Police Station.
Over
Hampers.
the same pickup.
No, different one. Hampers. Look, Randy, the place is literally a crime scene, and that's why the committee chairman, James Kujabeji, recommended, because again we don't have the power to order, recommended to the Auditor General to do a forensic audit of the place, because the same person, before he was appointed,
Special audit or forensic audit.
he said he called for forensic audit.
I thought I had
Or special audit.
Special, yes. I
Okay,
didn't hear
special
that.
audit.
It's about the same.
All of them should. What we want is an audit, because Randy, again, and in case the Auditor General's team is listening, they should be checking from the payroll, because again, I've seen a letter that was written from KNUST, because Prof used to be the dean of the College of Sciences.
We resolve that.
The double pay.
Yeah, that's been resolved.
You resolve that one.
Resolve that.
And so, but there are too many issues
I
around the
understand
space
you. I understand
where we need to look at it.
Yeah,
But Randy, so I've basically done all of this to just establish for you the inactivity of the appointing authority to step in to fix issues. And I've juxtaposed this against John Mahama and the way he acted. Now the second leg to it, because I told you I'll take this from two legs. The second leg is rather shorter.
So that was just the first leg.
That's the first leg.
Oh my goodness.
Now the second leg is last year.
Well, once we don't have a third leg, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Go on.
It's breakfast.
Just go.
It's breakfast show.
Go on.
flow.
Ready? Pick me up here. But
Yes.
last year, the committee decided that we're not going to tolerate procurement breaches. And so all procurement breaches were referred to the Attorney General.
Correct.
Because previously we accept you bringing the documents to regularize. Last year we said no. All procurement breaches, you are handed over to the Attorney General for prosecution. We handed over 180 cases to the Attorney General. That has been a year. Not one has been prosecuted.
180 cases.
Yes. Of procurement breaches.
180.
180 over.
Maybe the Attorney General does not find
so the
enough.
problem is we need to decide that we want to fight corruption. The Attorney General's department must work with public accounts and have
But not all wrongs can be criminally prosecuted.
No, all the things that we referred are things for criminal prosecution.
No,
because
in the view of your committee,
it follows from
the regulations.
the regulations and then the ruling.
Oh, so
yes.
you clearly established breaches.
Yeah.
Breaches
Of
the
existing-
breaches have been established by the Auditor General,
Okay.
and then based on the ruling of the Supreme Court
Yeah.
in interpreting the Occupy Ghana case and giving Dom Levo the powers of surcharge. So there is both the law and there is a ruling of the Supreme Court. So in fact, when the committee sits and then decides that we are not going to apply those sanctions, we're actually in breach of the law and the Supreme Court ruling. So we decided we would do just what the law is asking us to do and what the Supreme Court is asking us to do. So then you must begin to see prosecution. What I think we need to have is the Attorney General's office have a dedicated team to handle those prosecutions or referrals from the Public Accounts Committee.
Especially procurement breaches.
Especially procurement breaches. And then you also have to have the Chief Justice set up a specialized court for these breaches. So, like the way you have a traffic court, where right now when the police arrest you, you are not put in the chain of all the cases in court. They send you straight to a traffic court. They are dedicated judges. You are given a fine. In less than 1 hour, you're out of the court, or your license is withdrawn. A specialized court. You've got one for lands. We need to have specialized courts to deal with procurement breaches, so that when the Public Accounts Committee refers to the AG, that specialized unit on procurement breaches and referral from the Public Accounts Committee picks them up. It doesn't have to compete with all the other things the Attorney General's office is dealing with. They go straight to the specialized court. When the news begins to come up of prosecutions, and successful prosecutions at that, of persons engaged in procurement breaches, you will then begin to see people sit up. Because Randy, in 2016, when John Mahama was leaving office, the total value of procurement breaches or breaches of public finance in the Auditor General's report of 2016 was a total value of 780 million
cedis.
Ghana cedis. 780 million, less than a billion. In 2021, the total volume,
5 years.
the total volume
Inflation.
of infractions, the cost was 12.1 billion Ghana cedis. Randy, 12.1 billion is almost $1 billion. The IMF we are chasing, this second tranche was how much? 600 million. 600 million, yes. It's less than what in 1 year infractions, the value of infractions. Let's even assume that only half of those are real losses to the state, because again, not all infractions are losses. That's $500 million in infractions. It tells you that people are realizing the loopholes and exploiting it. And this year's sitting that we are doing, they've developed a new strategy because we are referring them for prosecution. Everybody's coming and says, we've reported to Yoko. We've reported to Yoko. As soon as they come and you ask them what they say, we reported to Yoko to stay the hand of the committee.
By that, they are ousting your jurisdiction.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so you can, and Randy, I have the view, and I hold this very strongly, that there are people in the public service.
Just hold on a bit.
Oh, let me just, I've landed on this.
On this Yoko thing. On the basis of what you've just said, is your committee considering perhaps a proposal to let issues associated with the Auditor General not go to like Yoko? Especially when you have identified it as a ploy.
Yes. That one, I think the chairman will have to give guidance on. We'll have to, but again, it could find expression when we present our report to plenary.
Because I'm looking at it from a point of view of the bigger fight against corruption.
Absolutely.
That if we've identified that people are using.
You know, when it started happening,
because parallel investigation, for example, is one of the tools that the executive uses.
Exactly.
So
we can explore that, because even Yoko seems to be inundated because they are shocked at what is happening with all these reports coming. You know, and so we need to look at that. But Randy, I hold a very strong view that there are certain people in the public service who use the Public Accounts Committee as a means of fleecing the public purse.
How?
Okay. The whole infraction that they are coming to appear before us is like 6,000 cedis. Something that costs 6,000. But 4 officers are going to be dispatched from that agency to come and appear before the committee. Let's assume they are coming from one of the northern regions or the western north. They take off, if they are to appear on Tuesday, they would leave maybe Sunday evening to arrive, or Monday morning to arrive Accra. They are paid out of station for that day. They are paid hotel accommodation. Then they appear before us on Tuesday. And maybe because of the time we've closed, it's too late to go, so they leave on Wednesday. So you end up having 3 to 4 days allowance. In one of the instances, Randy,
you should be happy.
I think
they take the committee serious.
Yes.
Two, they are bringing you all the relevant officers, so that somebody doesn't come and say that
Yeah.
Oh, Mr.
Randy,
Yeah.
Randy.
So I really think that one
we
you
are
should
cut,
hold
no,
off on
no,
that
no.
one.
We're cutting our nose to spite our face because
No,
in the
but
particular case, I don't want to mention the district because when I asked them what everybody who came, the district assembly or the agency spent about 5,500 cedis on each of them, and there were 4 of them. So it came to 22,000 to come and respond to an infraction of 6,000. Randy, no. Randy, you ask yourself, why did they have to come down? Because, Randy, they came down only to tell us, oh, we've regularized it, these are the documents. The report we were dealing with, that audit was done 2 years earlier. Now, they told us that they presented the documents the week they were appearing before us to the auditors. The question it raises is, and Doc, just like me, you are an MP.
Yeah.
You oversee the common fund, the MP's common fund. Yeah. Even though it is administered by the district assembly,
correct,
you authorize it. In my instance, there are times when the auditors have come and they've called me, MP, we see that these items were bought. We see that you bought 20 of them. We've seen a distribution list for 18. 2, we can't see the distribution. I follow up and say, what's going on? I check with my team. Maybe it was donated to somebody, but the person didn't sign the honor certificate. But I have evidence of every distribution. We have pictures. So whatever you call, we go into our library, bring the pictures, show you the people who took it. The people are called. When the auditors come, even if you say you disbursed to 100 people, you are supposed to take their names and contact numbers because the auditors, for audit purposes, can randomly call any of those people to verify if it is true that you have done that. But when the auditors come, they spend 2 weeks at the assembly. 2 weeks with you, within which you are supposed to regularize anything that you could not regularize. After the 2 weeks, they leave and go and prepare their report and come back and do an exit conference a month later. So you've had 6 weeks. Randy, in 6 weeks, they couldn't find the documents to regularize with the auditors. It finds its way into the report. Then they stay 2 years before the Public Account Committee calls them. It is the week they are appearing that they now found those documents. Whether they found them or manufactured them is a different conversation. But those documents are now found. And then the same taxpayer for whom 6,000 cedis was misappropriated has to spend 22,000 cedis for people to come and respond that they provided the paperwork. Randy, I think we need to look at it properly.
Right.